Hello, and welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Matt.
Today we're talking about Nikka and their new whiskey released to the U.S., Days.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is in the United States finally. This is the Nikka Days, which is a smooth and delicate, as it says in the front, blended whiskey at 40%. So we've actually never had Nikka before on the any reviews. So we're going to give you a nice history. Actually, the man who started this one, also the one that started the Yamasaki brand, which is Makataka Sakasuro. So,
Say it again.
Do what?
Mazataka Tetetsuru.
I know, I just like hearing it said. Say it 5 times fast, please. Because it's hard.
Yes, so he started this. He learned how to do, like I said, he learned how to do his malt at Longmorn, how to do the grain down in the lowlands, and then he also worked at Hazelburn, how to do malt and then blend it with grains. So it's very cool. He learned his blending there. So he learned all over Scotland, and then he came back to Japan to make the first Japanese distillery in a actual whiskey style of Scotland. And so the people that sent him to learn in Scotland actually folded, unfortunately, which is why he went with Yamasaki to help them build that distillery. And then he had a 10-year contract. When his 10 years was up, he decided to build his own distillery, which was built called Yoichi, which was built in 1934, which is the very top northern island of Japan. And it is surrounded on 3 sides by mountains, and one side is on the sea. So it's very similar to the Scottish Highlands, is why he chose this location. Same climate, humidity, all that fun stuff. So then he built a second distillery that he could build grain whiskey, the Miyagikyo, in 1969. So 35 years later, he built another one. So must be nice, just pretty cool. So anyway, when he started it, the funny part is before his whiskey, he made apple products, apple juice. And his company original name was the Da Nippon Koju, which translates to the Great Japanese Juice Company. I'm like, that's awesome. Needless to say, they later changed it to the Nikka Whiskey Company, which was a good choice.
Yeah.
This is pretty funny. So this was the very first pot still in Japan. It was actually built, it was 1936, and started production of whiskey on the shelf in 1940. What a great time to start during World War II.
Right.
Not a great time for whiskey, especially in Japan. So, talk about rough times.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, hey, they got through it. It's all good. When they opened up their second distillery, the Miyagikyo, which is funny, it's on the Nikkawa River, which is just Nikka with W-A at the end of it. Just coincidence on this river, which also has mountains on the side, but super clean water. But the distills at Miyagikyo are significantly larger than they are at Yoichi, which is Yoichi still coal-fired, which almost no distilleries are coal-fired anymore, which is extremely hard and difficult. Whereas Miyagikyo is steam-heated. And they also have 2 separate column stills there as well, which were installed in the 60s. So it's make a very cool product. And so in Japan, which is unique, is rather than you've got blended scotches, which you go to multiple different distilleries to blend. In Japan, you own all your distilleries, and so you have to make all the products you're going to combine at your own distilleries. So what makes this one unique is it's a blend of the Coffey Grain whiskey, and then it's a non-peated aromatic from Miyagikyo malt, and then more coffee malt whiskey, and then a little bit of Yoichi peated malt. So there's basically 4 different types of whiskey in here, which is very interesting to do. Like I said, it's 40%. It's blended. And I want to see what you guys think. Oh, it smells so good.
It smells very light and friendly.
Absolutely. Nice floral,
Mm-hmm.
honey, vanilla.
And apples.
Definitely apples. Absolutely. Which would be, it did make apple juice.
What's the proof on this?
It's only 80, which is interesting.
Yeah, I get a lot of apple.
Uh-huh.
Like a little bit of chrysanthemum, some pear, rose water.
Yeah, pear and peach I'm picking up as far as the fruit goes.
Yeah. A little bit of ash and smoke.
I get a slight peat, but it's not the same kind of peat.
And then salt, which makes it on the sea.
Salty, but not like briny salty.
Yeah, just salty, exactly. It smells freaking good. I mean, I think for proof wise, it smells like a scotch.
Yeah.
Tastes like a scotch.
A delicious one at that.
That's nice.
That's freaking oily as hell, especially for a 40%. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's very, very friendly, very approachable. The palate, the mouthfeel, and the journey across the palate are very, very smooth.
Yeah, it's
Everything's
very
round.
well rounded.
They did a hell.
It's got a little bit of growth at the back. Do you know? You said that there was a little bit of peat in there.
Mm-hmm.
I get a slight of what I might be thinking is peat, but it doesn't present itself like normal peat. Do you know what they use? Did it say anything?
I couldn't find what the peat source was. I'd assume it's Scottish. It usually is when they bring in the peat. That's what they have traditionally done at Yoichi is peated malt. So I'm assuming it comes from Scotland more than likely.
Wondering where.
Yeah.
Where
I'm getting more of an.
I bet it's Highland.
Scotch.
I'm getting more of an ashiness,
Highland
more
peat.
of a
Agree.
a campfire from last
Smokiness.
night.
Yeah.
Just that little thread of a campfire.
Right.
Just right at the end.
But yeah, it's got a lot of honey.
Yeah.
It's
And-
floral.
That might be what's presenting itself as peat to me.
Mhm.
It's perfectly named though. Days. It is. You're sitting in a field on a sunny afternoon, beautiful wispy clouds floating by, but it's like the perfect day whiskey. It's a little candied with some citrus, like those little hard citrus candies you get like at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Then you're prepared to show up.
A little bit of butterscotch in there. It's
Mhm.
very fruity and it's just friendly.
Yeah.
Until you get that smoke on the end, and it's got a little bit of a.
Yeah, it is. And on the palate, use a little more salt with a little brine on it, with like a little pixie stick candied powder with some
Powdery.
like a caramel apple. It's just
Yep.
it's a little oily and effervescent. This is amazing for 40%.
All the oils, all of the complexity, all of the nuance goes away with the drop of water. I don't recommend.
The legs on this thing are insane. Take a drink and watch it run back down.
It's very clingy.
Yeah, it's oily.
You know why? Because this is real Japanese whiskey that we know for sure comes from Japan. This is just art in a glass. It really is. I mean, Masataka Chikasura would be incredibly impressed with this, I think, if he was still alive. He died, I think, in 1979 at 85 years old. He's a perfectionist. I mean, this is beautiful. And actually, the funny thing is his stills at Yoichi are actually almost exactly the same as the Longmorn stills because he based it off of those, which is kind of cool.
And the more sips that I have of it, the more the peat presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not horrible as far as the peat goes for someone that doesn't like peat. But as far as the other Japanese expressions that I could reach for, I don't know that I would reach for it first because of the peat.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be, I wouldn't push it away if somebody put it in front of me.
Do we know an approximate price point on what this is going to be?
$50.
Okay. For Japanese whiskey?
For real Japanese whiskey, guaranteed to actually be Japanese whiskey. There's no mystery about it. This is Japanese whiskey, 100% Japanese.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
This is really good. I am thoroughly impressed and love this whiskey.
You didn't mention an age statement. Is there one?
No, there's no age statement at all. They really, most of Nikka's products, unfortunately, with the Japanese, huge explosion in the Jap. There's almost no age stated Japanese in general. That is going to be for an absurd price. Now, I do have a 17 and a 21 that I've never opened that I was saving for a special occasion. We will review them at some point. I have had them in the vault. They are freaking awesome. I have a 12-year that's age. I have them. I just haven't opened them. Now, they used to even be age-stated Yoichi and Miyagikyos, like 15s and 12s, but same thing. They're all gone. None of those. They don't even make those anymore. The only ones you can maybe find on the shelf that for an absurd price might be Hibiki 21 or something like that. Other than that, everything else is gone. There's just nothing.
Yamazaki 18.
Yeah, you can get Yamazaki 18 and 12. And I guess Kyushu 12 and 18, which are also currently discontinued. They'll all come back, but in that, another 12 to 18 years, you can get them again. Well, ain't that great? So when we're in our 50s, we can get them again. Yay. I'm excited. But,
I will be then, that's for sure.
I'll be excited then. But yeah, I think this is, I don't think I've ever seen a bottle shape like this one. It's quite a unique bottle shape, and this What I do commend the Japanese on, I wish more American countries this. See,
Screw top?
this is how you make a screw top properly. Hard plastic, not that garbage freaking crap, those cheap metal junk. No cork rot, no worrying about it. Proper way to make a seal.
Nice hard plastic. You're not wrong, Matt. They don't lose any bottles of whiskey when they do it that way.
Right?
So stupid. They should make all whiskey that way. It's stupid.
Screw tops matter. Okay?
That's right. I have feelings on screw tops. Good screw tops matter.
They really do.
Screw tops and synthetic corks.
That's right.
That's right. They save the whiskey.
It's a whole nother episode for a different time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to hit that notification bell. And until next time,
keep on crusading for better whiskey in your glass.
Cheers.
I really do like that whiskey a lot.
It's yummy.
It's not horrible, but
it's very, very smooth.
It is. I mean,
that slight heat.
This,
and for me, it grows from the.
It is. You're right. It does get more. The more sips you take, it does get more peated. There's no doubt about that. But I do think it's a good intro to Japanese whiskey if you like a little bit of peat.
Yeah, it's light and friendly. I will say that.
I really, really like that.